It's the ultimate renovation rescue, driven by a former reality TV star who just happens to be the US president. Donald Trump is treating the White House like his very own doer-upper, taking out the East Wing to add and build a big, beautiful ballroom. And like with so many things that he attaches his name to, this one is dividing the nation.
Demolition derby at one of the world's most famous blocks, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
You probably hear the beautiful sound of construction to the back. You hear that sound? Oh, that's music to my ears. I love that sound. Other people don't like it.
Donald, the developer, back to his real estate roots.
I'm very good at building ballrooms. I build beautiful ballrooms.
The president with property plans for the People's House.
We're building a ballroom. We'll have the most beautiful ballroom in the country. I don't think it'll be topped. I want to build a ballroom. It needs it badly.
It's one of the most recognisable buildings in the world, home to every president except George Washington. More than 2 centuries of history lines these White House walls, but the current resident is changing things up and knocking things down.
Like many Americans, I was shocked that the East Wing came down at all, much less came down so quickly. The extent of the demolition was totally unexpected.
4 days was all it took for the White House East Wing to go from this to this, demolished in a ballroom blitz.
It's pretty clear that President Trump has decided to run roughshod over the bodies that would advise him on the best route to protect our historic places.
Sarah Bronin is a lawyer, architect and an expert in historic preservation who worked in the Biden administration.
I think people are very concerned that President Trump could use the very same theory that he used to demolish the East Wing to demolish the historic core of the building.
The East Wing, built in 1902, has hosted generations of First Ladies and held the White House movie theatre.
Over the years, many presidents have made changes. This obviously would be the biggest change, but this was something they've wanted for at least 150 years.
Are there any laws or processes around what a president can do when it comes to demolition of parts of the White House?
Well, there are a number of processes that the president simply didn't follow in choosing to demolish the East Wing. The American public remains entirely in the dark about whether specific pieces of artwork or furniture or other memorabilia were actually preserved, removed from the building before the demolition.
The plans are grand.
We're going to build a room that's going to be able to hold literally the inauguration if we want. All of the glass on the sides is bulletproof.
The ballroom will seat 999 people. From the outside, the White House says the architectural heritage will be retained. Inside, renderings show a room draped in gold. From top to bottom, windows to walls, a decidedly Donald decor.
You can see the kind of interiors that we're talking about. That's an interior of the ballroom.
We are the United States of America. We're a bit of an important country in the world, and a lot of people stop by.
Patrick Mara chairs DC's Republican Party. He's a fan of the plan.
By building this ballroom, which we should have had probably 100 years ago, this allows for larger scale events and gets more people access into the White House.
Our PM bore witness to the construction during his long-awaited talks with the US president.
It will be a fantastic facility. And to be able to host state dinners, etc., is the plan.
Anthony Albanese adding our own example of dining diplomacy.
I had a chat with the President about our wonderful Parliament House, Australia's most visited building, and that has allowed us to have functions in the Great Hall, etc.
There's no denying the White House lacks the space for its most prestigious events. It's become common practice to set up a tent on the South Lawn because the current state dining room only seats 200. The question though, how big is too big? The proposed size of the ballroom is almost double the footprint of the existing White House. Does that raise concerns?
The historic core of the White House is something that's so important to Americans as a symbol of our country, as a symbol of democracy. Putting a huge building directly adjacent to it, from what we can tell from the plans that have been released, is probably a pretty significant aesthetic mistake.
Big ballroom, bigger bill. The project is set to cost more than $450 million.
When I hear that sound, it reminds me of money. In this case, it reminds me of lack of money because I'm paying for it.
But not alone. Some of the world's biggest companies are pledging cash for the cause. Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta and Microsoft, along with crypto billionaires and cabinet members, all lining up to pay. Donald Trump putting his own permanent stamp on the presidency.
I love construction. I love it's in your heart, isn't it? Well, I love it. I know it better than anybody.